Alright, good morning guys and welcome to day 12 of Vlogmas. I actually just arrived at the doctor's office. So I'm going to go in there and see how that goes, and then I'll update you guys after. You guys, what a day today has been. Last you saw me there briefly, it was very early in the morning. Now it's very late in the evening. As I had mentioned, I was headed to see my doctor because last night I mentioned I wasn't feeling well. And I thought maybe a cold was coming, but when I woke up this morning, I knew it wasn't a cold. And I knew I wasn't feeling right. So I went to the doctor, and it turns out I have an infection. So he put me on 2 weeks worth of antibiotics. And then after Christmas and New Year's, I go back in to just talk to him about the root of the infection. So we'll get to the bottom of that, and then that should be taken care of. So I went and I got my prescription filled, and then I came home and I went to bed. And then I woke up and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do about day 12 of Vlogmas? And then I remembered yesterday I saw my friend, I think her channel name is Candy Cause. Candy Cause. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, she had posted a Christmas spirit tag, and I just loved the questions, and I loved hearing her answers. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to answer that tag tonight. Take care of day 12 of Vlogmas. Because, I mean, of course things come up, and, you know, you might have to miss a day. But if I can avoid it, I want to avoid it. So let's get into the tag questions, and then I can go back to bed. Okay, I screen capped her video here where she listed the questions. So I'm just going to read through them and answer them. So question number 1 is, favorite thing about Christmas? My favorite thing about Christmas is just the Christmas season in general. Like everything. I love everything. Like even the things that people complain about, you know, the wrapping and this and that and the other. I love it all. I love all of it. Spending time with family is the best thing. And there's just something with the decorations and the cold weather outside and the big fluffy snowflakes falling down. And I love all of it. All of it. Just the whole season. So it's hard to pick. I love the music. I love the spirit of searching for that perfect present for someone. Just all of it. Pet peeves about Christmas is question number 2. Honestly, you know, I don't know. I don't think I really have any. Maybe how some people get so wrapped up in the materialism of Christmas that they forget what it's really about, you know, friends and family and spending time together. You know, sometimes we get so stressed out that we're so removed from what the season's actually supposed to be. So I don't know if that's a pet peeve, but it makes me sad for those people. Number 3, most memorable Christmas. That's hard, you guys. I've had a lot of wonderful Christmases. I guess I would say the most memorable Christmases, aside from when my daughter was little and, you know, she was excited for Santa. You know, she still gets excited, but as a teenager, it's not that same kind of excitement as a little kid. So aside from her Christmases, because they're all my favorite, but when I was a kid, we used to, on Christmas Day, we'd all go to my grandparents' house. And their house was always so beautifully decorated, and everyone was there. And I just loved that. I loved going there on Christmas Eves, too, to visit. And there's one Christmas in particular. I don't know how old I was. I don't know what year it was. But I can remember they had these big... My grandmother, in her living room window, she always put big candle decorations. And they were so beautiful. And it was kind of be like a row of candles in each of her windows. Because she had this huge window, and say it was separated into, say, like 8 smaller windows. And each of the smaller windows had these candles in them. And I remember standing in that window and big fluffy snowflakes falling. And then outside of the house, all you could see all around were colored lights. And it was just such a safe, cozy, warm feeling. I think of it often. Even when it's not Christmas time, I think of that particular moment. And I just loved it. And that's my answer. Number 4, favorite Christmas scent. I love the smell of a real Christmas tree. Just so beautiful. Nothing beats it. And I don't have a real Christmas tree. So I like putting the Christmas tree scent in my house. Whether that's from, you know, a Bath and Body Works candle, because they have so many great tree scented candles, or like an air freshener, just whatever to get that tree smell in the house. Number 5, what does Christmas morning feel like? Just so exciting. Even now, it's just, there's just a lot of excitement, you know, coming down the stairs, watching my daughter. I like to make sure I tell her I'm going downstairs first so that I can watch you come down the stairs and see her face light up. When I was a kid, I'd usually be the first one awake. Oftentimes it was my mom, no kidding, who was the first one awake, and she would wake us up and then try to get out of the room before we realized she was waking us up. But on the years when I was the first to wake up, I remember one Christmas, I was about 15 and I lived way up north for a couple of years, like way up north in the Northwest Territories, in a city called Yellowknife. And it's a really isolated territory, and it's very cold. Like, it gets cold here, but it gets very cold up there. And my grandparents had come for Christmas from Newfoundland, and I was the first one to wake up, and I walked out into the living room, and the tree was the only light on in the house. And I sat on the couch and I stared at the tree and the presents, and before I went to go and wake up my sister, I looked over and my grandfather was sitting on the other couch. He had the same idea, and I guess he was just watching me watching the tree. And yeah, we had the same idea. My grandfather and I think in a lot of ways we were very similar, and that's just one of those ways. Okay, where am I? Number 6. Do you think people begin to prepare for Christmas too early? No. Though I might be a bit biased because I put my tree up in November. But no, if it makes people happy, let them decorate early, you know? It's not hurting anyone. It's in their homes. They're not bothering you Grinches. So no, I don't think people get ready too early. Number 7, ever done Secret Santa? Yeah, we used to do Secret Santa every year when I was in school. Even through high school we did Secret Santa. And I loved that. And I've had a few jobs where we've done Secret Santa. And actually currently this year my husband is doing one at his work. So yeah, Secret Santa's all around. Number 8, ever gone caroling? You betcha I have. When I was back in Newfoundland, when I was young, I remember a few different times. My aunt is a piano teacher, and she used to live next door to an old age home. And so every time around Christmas, she'd gather up whoever from her students would want to go, and we'd go next door and we'd go caroling at the old age home. And we loved it, and they loved it, and it was just a lot of fun. Number 9, ever looked for hidden presents? Did your parents find out? No, I've never looked for hidden presents, only because I love the surprise on Christmas morning too much. Like, I'm not interested in hidden presents. I don't want to ruin my own surprise. So no, never even thought it. And even if I had, my mom, so like I've said, first of all, my mom was usually the first one up for Christmas, and she would wake us. Number 2, my mom had a top secret, like FBI level method for Christmas presents. Like, she'd wrap the present and then she'd put a number on it. And then in the locked drawer in her bedroom, she would have a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper would be the numbers and who the present was for. And so then on Christmas Eve, she would put the tags on it. But not until Christmas Eve. And I used to always tell her, like, you don't have to do that for me, because, like, I'm not looking. So I don't know if my sister was a notorious present searcher or what. But honestly, I just think my mom used to love Christmas so much. And I think she just, it was fun for her, even though none of us were interested in finding the presents anyway. Number 10, least favorite thing about Christmas. And honestly, that's an easy one. My least favorite thing about Christmas is missing the people who haven't made it to this Christmas. Like my grandparents, my grandmother, my grandfather. They were such a big part of all of my Christmases growing up. And I always think about them during the holidays and miss them so, so much. Number 11, favorite Christmas tradition. On a personal level, I love the tradition of Christmas Eve pajamas. That's always something I look forward to and something that's fun. On a sort of bigger level, back home in Newfoundland, I know I talked about this when I did my tree tour, but mummering is a big tradition there. It's where you get dressed up. Like, it sounds crazy. You get dressed up. So, like, you'll put a pillowcase over your head, cut eyes out, and you'll wear a snowsuit on backwards. Like, you'll just get dressed up to the point where you're unrecognizable. That's the goal anyway. And then you go around to friends and family's homes. You knock on their door. You say, any mummers allowed in. They'll let you in. They'll give you a drink. There's music. There's dancing. There's so much fun. And then before you're leaving that house to go to the next house, they try to guess who you are. So, of course, the goal is to have dressed up good enough that they can't guess who you are. So, it's one of those traditions that sounds crazy, but is so much fun. And, of course, you're going to friends and family's homes, and they're very small towns, so everyone knows everyone. It's not like it's a big city, and you're going to strangers' homes, or strangers are coming to your house. It's nothing like that. It's just, that's why you gotta dress up so good, because everyone knows everyone. And the final question, number 12, is favorite Christmas song. That's hard to pick. I love all of the Christmas songs. I love them all. I love White Christmas. I love it. I love I'll Be Home for Christmas. If I want to really get kicked in my feelings, I'll Be Home for Christmas does it every single time. I love the Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues. I love all the songs. I love the NSYNC Christmas album. Me and my sister, that's like our Christmas album. We love it. Yeah, so many great Christmas songs. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to leave the questions down below, and I tag every single one of you watching this. If you want to answer these questions, you answer these questions, and I can't wait to hear your answers. So I'm going to go now, take another antibiotic, and go to bed. So hopefully, I'm hoping by tomorrow I wake up feeling a little more normal, a little more back to myself. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you tomorrow with another vlog. Bye, guys.